Board of Zoning Adjustment to order. The board members present today are Angelia Beals, Chair, Justin Randall, Vice Chair, and Vincent Nutt, Member. The Department of Planning staff members are Debbie Netzfit, Abby Freudel, Gretchen Arnold, and Amanat Adesana. Also on the call is John Burford from the County Counselor's Office. First, I'd like to offer into the record the affidavit of publication pertaining to today's meeting, September the 4th, 2024. The board hereby takes official notice of and admits into evidence on the record the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 1003, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 is amended, and 1004, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 is amended. Next, I'd like to call for a motion to approve the minutes of the previous BZA meeting of August 21st, 2024.
I move to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, the motion passes. This meeting is conducted as a teleconference and is recorded. The planning staff will read each request into the record and present technical advice to the board if needed. The petitioner will be unmuted, state their name, and make a brief presentation to the board explaining the reason and hardship for the requested variance. The board will not consider financial hardships. Board members may ask questions to clarify the facts. When the board is satisfied with the material presented, the chairperson will then ask if there is anyone in favor or opposition to the request. To do so, click the hand next to your name. If any comments were submitted, the staff will read them into the record. Before a call for the vote, the petitioner may request a continuance in order to bring in additional documentation. The board may also request a continuance to gather additional information or for a visit to the site. Once comments have been heard, the chairperson will call for a vote. At that time, the discussion is ended. No further discussion is permitted. The board will generally make a decision today. If a variance is approved, the petitioner has 6 months to obtain the necessary permits or establish the use requested, or the variance will expire. The petitioner or any interested party has the right of appeal to the St. Louis County Circuit Court. Paperwork indicating the board's decision will be mailed to the petitioners.
First petition is 82-24. Matthew and Elizabeth Monken requests an exception to the side yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a deck and stairs at 5004 Flintwood Drive, maintaining a side yard of 3 feet in lieu of 8 feet as required by the R3 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Okay. Matthew, I have requested that you unmute.
I apologize. We're still getting our person in. She said that she can hear the audio, but is unable to speak at this point in time from our contractor.
What's their name?
What's her name, Josh?
Jane.
Jane?
Yeah. I'd like to speak if they're able to.
Okay. Well, I've also got my contractor here with me on the phone. Is that good where we can work together?
That's fine with us.
Fine. Mm-hmm.
All right. Josh, you're on.
Thanks for having us today. Basically what we're asking for a 3-foot variance from what St. Louis County has allowed from the end. The deck has been there for years. What we'd like to see happen is we'd like us to build the deck back with the 3-foot variance, but within code and in a safe manner. The deck is currently completely unsafe. It's been verified by several engineers. All the plans that we have submitted have been approved by St. Louis County's plans with a stamped engineer planning. We just need the variance to be approved so we can build this deck back exactly the way it was. It's been there for years. However, we just need it to be approved.
Okay. Oh, did you state your name for the record?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Did you state your name for the record?
Oh yeah, my name is Joshua McDaniels. I own Max Exteriors. I'm the contracting company that's going to be doing the improvements on the deck. We're going to be tearing down the deck except the roof and building back the way it currently is, but within code.
Okay, so you're basically just upgrading the current deck then, just
And the deck would be built 3 foot away from the fence line. Currently, the deck is probably 18 inches from the fence line.
Yes.
okay. Are there any other questions?
And then this deck, when we moved in, was passed by occupancy, even though it was not piered correctly and was completely not up to code. And I mean, really all I'm asking at this point in time is the danger for my family. We're just trying to improve the property. We're not trying to infringe on anyone. So we're just hoping that we can get this going so that our family can be safe and enjoy our house.
Very well said, Max. That's exactly.
Are there any other questions?
Not at the moment, other than there was an issue of certified letters supposed to be sent to us.
And we just like a rebuttal at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, we just like a rebuttal at the end. So that.
Okay, Josh or Vince, do you have any questions?
I do.
Okay,
Oh, I'm
Is-
good right now.
you're good too. Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition? I'm sorry, Abby, is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
My apologies. I did not realize I was muted. No, I did not see any hands, so I've muted the petitioner so the board can take their vote.
Okay. In the matter of 82-24, I vote to approve the variance as advertised. Hardship is just the need to put it in the same space and also to increase the safety.
Second the motion.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Is there any opposed?
Aye.
You're opposed, Vince?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So the motion passes 2-1.
(83-24) STL Home Buyers requests an exception to the front yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a roof over an existing patio at 819 Regina Avenue, maintaining a front yard of 7 feet in lieu of 20 feet as required by the R5 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County zoning ordinance. Okay, Ben, I have sent you a request to unmute.
Hi, this is Ben Ellerman from Blaze Architects, representing this project. Our client owns this house. It was built, we think, somewhere around the turn of the century, although county says 1923. It's an unusual house. There's several houses that are close to the street, including this one. And it does not have a front porch. It has a storefront frontage, and it has an existing concrete patio that's 5 feet by 16 feet in front of the house. Based on old aerials, we believe that has been there for quite some time. There's 10 houses on our side of the street, the west side, between Orient and Hoffmeister. 7 out of the 10 have front porches, and one has a side porch. So we're only one of 2 houses that do not have front porches. We are not putting columns. We're proposing a canopy roof that will project 3.5 feet and cover the front door and the front windows so that patio could be used partially with coverage and just ease of access getting in and out of the house without being in the rain, since there is no overhang on the front of the house because of the storefront elevation. Our hardship is based on the location of the house. The house is situated 10.6 feet from the front setback, or from the front property line. 20 feet is required. Clearly, we believe this house was constructed before the zoning ordinances were in place. And so we are requesting that a 13-foot, a variance of 7 feet, an additional 13 feet to be able to build this canopy roof on brackets over the existing patio.
Are there any questions? Go ahead. So basically, it's going to be put in the same previous, well, no, you don't have a front entrance now, correct?
No, there is. There's 2 windows and a front door there that are there currently. That's where the front entrance has always been. But
Okay.
there's just no coverage or even any overhang. There's no overhang on the front.
Okay, so you're just kind of building a covering over the door, okay.
And I'm assuming most of the houses along this area are all fairly similar with no big front setbacks.
They vary a lot, and many of them are close to the road like we are. So I think people just built kind of hodgepodge however they wanted back at that point on this block. But there are a number of houses that are as close to the street as we are, if not closer. And some of those actually have the front porches extending probably even further than where we're proposing this patio roof.
I
Are
don't
there
have
any-
any other questions.
Okay.
Vince, are you guys able to hear Vince right now?
I can't.
Okay, I've seen him moving his mouth and I can't hear anything, so I wanted to make sure, Vince, sorry, that we can hear you. There
Yeah.
we go.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Vince. I was like, I think he's asking a question, but yeah. So I didn't want to know. I didn't know if it's on my end.
Appreciate it. I was asking Abby if we could go back to the aerial photo. I just wanted to
Sure.
verify setback of the adjacent houses.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
I have no other questions.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I do not see any hands, so at this time, I'm going to mute the petitioner so the board can take their vote. This is 83-24.
The matter of 83-24 due to the existing neighborhood layout and trying to replace the existing canopy. I make a motion to approve the variance as advertised.
Okay, I second it. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. None opposed. The motion passes.
(84-24) Wade Ravali requests an exception to the side and rear yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a 10-foot by 14-foot shed at 5005 Flamewood Drive, maintaining a side yard of 3 feet in lieu of 8 feet, and a rear yard of 6 feet in lieu of 15 feet as required by the R3 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County zoning ordinance. Wade, I've sent you a request to unmute.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear
Good
me?
afternoon.
We can
Yes,
hear you.
yes, please state your case.
Yes, my name is Wade Rivali. I am the homeowner. I am currently purchased a shed through Tough Shed, and I apologize. I wasn't made aware of this call until later this afternoon, and I tried to get a hold of somebody with Tough Shed, and with people on vacation, people that are out of town, people out on surgery. But the long story short is that currently I have a pre-existing shed that I am looking to replace that is in the same spot in the corner of my lot. And all I'm looking to do is to replace that shed with this 10 by 14 shed that already has a concrete pad and it is about 3 and 6 feet away from both side yards on the lot.
Okay. So is the shed slightly larger than you're saying?
Yeah, it's slightly larger by 4 feet. Right now, there's currently a 10 by 10 shed there.
Mhm. And so are you replacing it just to upgrade the shed or?
Yes, to upgrade the shed, need more space, and currently the shed that I have doesn't allow for me to get my lawn equipment into the shed because the door is not big enough, and I've tried to increase the door size without. It wouldn't be structurally sound by making the door larger, so I'm kind of stuck and leaving my lawn equipment outside in my yard instead of in my shed, and that's where my issue stemmed from.
Are there any other questions?
What is the orientation of the shed, proposed shed? Is the door facing in this layout, is it facing which way?
All right. So if you're looking at my house, let's see. So the picture is up the front of my house. Yes, Flamewood Drive. So it's the back left-hand corner where that concrete pad is. The door is currently facing towards Milburn. The door would be facing on the new shed towards Flamewood.
There will be other, okay. I have no other questions.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I do not see any hands, so at this time, I'm going to mute the petitioner so the board can take their vote.
Is this 84?
Yes, this is 84-24.
Okay, matter of case 84-24, I make a motion to approve the variance based on the hardship of an existing shed and need for just additional space that is already beyond setback.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. I concur. All of those in favor? Aye.
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 None opposed. The motion passes.
85-24, Michael O'Hare and Kathleen Reeker requests an exception to the rear yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a 12-foot by 12-foot shed at 8921 Hollymont Drive, maintaining a rear yard of 3 feet in lieu of 15 feet as required by the R4 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County zoning ordinance. Okay, Kathleen, you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Great.
Great. I just feel that this is the best location for the shed, because we have trees in the yard that limits where we are going to put the shed. And basically it's better for the neighbors to, not to have it in the middle of the yard. And that's why we have it in the corner there, in the far right corner. And
Okay.
behind us, it's just another fence and there's nothing beyond that.
Okay, so you kind of back to common ground then?
No, it's not common ground. It's someone else's yard. But I'm saying in their yard, there's, not a building or anything there.
Okay.
And there's a 14 by 14 concrete slab, which we would like to put the 12 by 12 shed on there.
Okay.
And that's about it.
So one clarification, in the drawing shown here for the property line at the top, is that a fence line?
At the top, yes.
Okay, so you'd be 3 foot away from a fence.
It's, the actual concrete pad is 3 feet away. So the shed would actually be, I guess it would be 5 feet away from the fence.
Okay, that's why I wanted to confirm the shed won't be at the 3 foot line. Okay,
No,
That's
not at all. Not at all.
Are there any other questions?
I don't have any.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I do not see anyone, so at this time I will mute the petitioner so the board can take their vote.
Okay. 85-24, I vote to approve the variance as advertised. The hardship being the topography of the land with the trees that they had to put it in that spot.
second that motion.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, none opposed, the motion passes.
(86-24) Danny Rodriguez requests an exception to the front, side, and rear yard regulations for the purpose of constructing of retaining walls and fencing at 628 Castlewood Drive, maintaining a front yard of 0 feet in lieu of 50 feet, both side yards of 8 feet in lieu of 20 feet, and a rear yard of 8 feet in lieu of 20 feet, as required by the NU non-urban district regulations of the St. Louis County zoning ordinance. Okay, Danny, you should be able to unmute yourself.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
So yeah, I buy this house like a year ago, and so during all this time, I was noticing all the ground in the front of the house because they construct the house really close to the road, so it's a mount in the front and a mount in the back. So I got a lot of erosion from the back and the front, and the ground is washing. I just want to protect that because it's kind of brand new rehab house. We was putting up front retaining wall to hold all this ground and not wash from the house, and one in the back as well. Moving a little bit the mount close 8 to the 8 feet is a fence. So I would try. My idea is keeping the new retaining wall like 8 feet from the existing wood fence. And try keeping all this erosion from the ground, keeping out the house because it's really the back is really close to the house to the ground, and the front I got the same problem. So that's why I propose put a retaining wall to hold all this ground in place and try be safe when rain or something happen.
Do you have any proposed height of the retaining wall?
Yeah, in the back is 10 feet high. The front one is 5 feet.
So on the 8-foot setback from the retaining wall, that's still within your property. You'd still be able to maintain that at 10 feet above.
Yeah, it's actually the ground. Is the mount is like 11 feet high, so it's really high from in the back of the house. So the ground is high. The house is like in a hole, like say like this. So it's on the top of the mount is a fence, and the retaining wall will be below the fence, like 6 feet below the fence. What did they say that there in the back of the house is a wood fence, 6 foot 6 foot wood fence. The retaining wall will be on the line of the bottom of the fence.
Okay. So how much space would you think would be between the fence and the retaining wall?
8 feet.
You said 8 feet?
8 feet.
That's the 8 feet you're showing. Okay.
Yeah, it's from the fence to the retaining wall. It's 8 feet.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Justin, do you have any questions?
No, I was just trying to figure out, can you go back to the aerial for me, please?
Sure.
So I mean, it's staying off kind of the little roadway, correct? How far off is that gonna be again?
From the road,
Yeah,
10 feet in the front from the road.
okay, all right,
It's 10 feet from the road.
I'm good.
Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
We have one neighbor on the call and they have raised their hand. So I'm going to mute the petitioner for a moment and unmute the neighbor. Please be sure to say your name for the record. Okay, you should be able to unmute yourself.
My name is Zach Hayes. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Am I allowed to ask a question to the petitioner? Just a clarifying question? Or do I just state, I guess this is my first time on a call like this.
If you can just make your statement and we can ask the petitioner your question.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that I'm understanding correctly. So the retaining wall in the back, the top of that is, the idea is to get the top of the retaining wall up to the level of the bottom of the fence along the back. And then the retaining wall in the front of the house, the height of that to get to kind of the level of the bottom of the house. I'm familiar with this area. I live just down the road, and the house is built into a fairly steep hillside, which I believe is the reason, and this makes sense to me. I'm just trying to picture it. But assuming that that's the idea as far as the heights of the retaining wall, in favor.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Now, will the petitioner be able to address that question?
Yeah, I'm unmuting him now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the front retaining wall will be in the same side of the bottom of the house. So it's 5 feet in the front, and in the back is on the bottom of the it's on the bottom line of the fence. So it's nothing go above crazy. It's just the same height of the front of the house. I will try keeping the same height. I think we propose like 6 feet, but I think in the end that will be like 5 feet only in the front. Because 5 feet I think go too high.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we are ready to make a decision.
Okay, I'll mute the petitioner. This is 86-24.
That's you, Vince.
Sure. In the matter of 86-24, make a motion to approve the variance, noting the hardship is a very weird topography with a lot of watershed and erosion for safety.
I second that.
Sorry, Angela.
That's okay. I concur. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, none opposed. The motion carries.
87-24, James Drury requests an exception to the parking regulations for the purpose of constructing parking, drive aisle, and a drive-through lane for a new Burger King at 5601 Telegraph Road, maintaining a front yard of 11 feet in lieu of 15 feet along Baumgartner Road for the parking, a front yard of 12 feet in lieu of 15 feet along Telegraph Road for a drive aisle, and to allow the drive-through lane along the Telegraph Road frontage as required by the C2 Shopping District Regulations and Section 1003.165 Off-Street Parking and Loading Regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Debbie, are you presenting this petition?
No, I actually thought Mark Doring was going to be on, but it is a repeat from over 6 months ago. So apparently they're getting ready to start construction. So it's basically a renewal of the previous request.
I thought we had seen this one. I mean, it just, if you're not familiar with this, it's a pretty tight site with two pretty major roads in South County. So like it was unanimous the last time we looked at it.
Okay, so we can make a motion to
Yeah.
reapprove.
Yeah, is it 87?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, in the matter of 87-24, we make a motion to approve the variances as advertised.
Mhm.
Second the motion.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, the motion passes.
And that is all we have.
Okay, sounds great. I move that we adjourn the meeting.
A second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
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 It passes. See y'all in 2 weeks.
Thanks.
Right,
Bye.
have a good one.
Thank you. You all too.